Hello and welcome to this new Scale 500 news video here on the channel. Another special report about the Amsterdam Collectors Fair, which I attended last week. I had the opportunity to talk with one of the organizers of that fair, Matt, or you might also know him as 1400_aircraft_models. And he was so kind to tell us a little bit about, well, what the AMS has gone through the last few years, because they have changed venues a few times and also concept. But I let him talk about that and what the future holds for the AMS.
So the last couple of years have been a little bit of a drift due to COVID mostly. So we used to always be here in the Van der Valk Schiphol Hotel, which it was a great cozy venue, you know. But then we had our 2020 edition in February, and we all know what came after that. You know, that made everything a little more difficult. So we had to change plans, and we eventually switched from a February convention here at the Van der Valk Schiphol to a September convention at the Van Zantenhal, which was a location not far away from here. The drawback of that was that we had a disconnect from staying at this hotel. We needed to have a shuttle bus going to the Van Zantenhal. But on the positive side, we were able to do a 2-day convention. Going back to the Schiphol Hotel, now that they have renewed their venue, well, I mean, if you look around, if you've seen any of the other videos today, it's a beautiful location. It's much better than it was before, but it still retained the coziness that it was always known for.
So how is it, can you give us a little bit insight in how to organize such a huge event?
Okay, so practically there's a team of 4 people, me, Patrick, Arjen and Rutger, with the other 3 being the more senior members. I've only been a part of the team for the last 2 events. The 3 of them have been doing it for years, and I'm talking way back when model airplanes were basically not even a thing yet. It's incredible to hear the stories they're always able to tell. And I just kind of rolled into that as they invited me because we just had a lot in common. We went to the same conventions together, and frankly they wanted more manpower. Because if you look around you, there's a lot more people wearing orange shirts than just the 4 of us. Those are usually wives or other family members of us 4. Because it really takes a lot of people to get this thing moving. It's a very thorough process to get everything right, because you have to account for the stand holders to show up on time. You have to get the elevators working for the stand holders, because we have a separate cargo elevator. We need to work with time slots. It's a lot of work to get everything fitted out and prepared. Like every table you see, we have to set that up manually. That's a lot of that work preparation starts months in advance. We're already working for the next year's edition, and that's still over a year away. So
let me just jump in there since you mentioned it. So you're back at your original location, but now instead of 2 days, back to 1 day. What's the plan for the future? Will it stay at 1 event a year, or maybe 2? What are the plans?
So for the near future, our next event is planned for February next year, and that's as far ahead as we have currently planned. We are open to doing 2 events per year, but due to the enormous amount of time that it takes to set this up and the huge amount of work that goes into preparing for something like this, doing it in half a year really would be like almost a full-day job for the 4 of us. It's a bit exaggerated, but you get where I'm going. On the other hand, it's a lot of fun. We do this, and we pour our hearts in it. It's so great to meet all these people, you know. We had to go back to a 1-day event, coming from a 2-day event, because this was for purely economical reasons. We would like to go back to a 2-day event in the future, but no ETA on that yet, because it depends entirely on availability here and on visitor amounts. If we notice it starts getting too busy for a single day, then we are forced to. But otherwise, we do want to go back to a 2-day, but to have 2 conventions in a year, we're open to it, but we're not actively looking into it.
So if someone is sitting out there watching this video and thinking, I'm not a wife of one of the organizers, can they help?
They most certainly can, but we do work with people who have a heart for aviation. So the best way to get in touch with us and the best way to get into a voluntary position like that is really to just visit these venues, talk with us, talk with other collectors, get to know people. It's just a lot of fun. It's really a common thing. We do it together. We do it because of our love for this hobby. And there's really nothing else to it.
So really interesting stuff here from Matt. Thank you so much for taking the time to tell us more about the Amsterdam Collectors Fair and all the effort that goes into organizing such an event. Have you ever thought about maybe volunteering for such an event? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And as always, if you like this type of content, a like is much appreciated. And of course, you're always welcome to hit subscribe. With that, thanks so much for watching this video and see you in another one very soon here on the channel. I'm checking out and bye.